Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In today's video, we are going to see top 8 biotech scientists of India and how to network with them. So this particular video is going to be useful if you are a scientist, if you are a researcher, if you are a working professional or even for a student, right? Because this is a general know-how about scientists, top 8 biotech scientists of India and how to network with them. I'm Dr. Vaishali, academic specialist at Biotechnica. Biotechnica is a space where we guide you in anything and everything regarding your bioscience career. Come, let's explore the topic. So the first scientist that I wanted to talk about, so Dr. Partha Prathim Majumdar. So what is about this particular scientist? So he is from the National Institute of Biomedical Genomics and he right now holds the Distinguished Professor title at National Institute of Biomedical Genomics. Now what are his research areas, right? So he researches on cancer genomics, on population genetics and genomics, as well as on statistical methodology, because his PhD is on statistics, but then he has done his research mostly on the biotech and the life science side of it, that is on cancer genomics and population genetics as well, right? So these are his research areas. Now the fourth thing that we're going to see is how to network with him. That is, we have email ID, that is ppm1@nibmg.ac.in. So that is his email ID. So if at all you want to get in touch with him, know his research work, or try to be a part of his research team, then you can drop an email to this particular email ID, and then he can get back to you when everything fits, right? So this is about Dr. Partha Prathim Majumdar. The second scientist that I wanted to talk about is Dr. Swapan Kumar Datta, right? So Dr. Swapan Kumar Datta is a former Deputy Director General of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So he is into the agriculture side of the research, and right now he is the founder, Vice Chancellor of the Biswa Bangla Vishwavidyalay in West Bengal, right? So this is the current position that he is holding. Now what are his research areas? So his research area is mostly in the rice biotechnology. So if you are an agriculture scientist or you want to enter into agriculture scientists, especially in the field of rice, then you can get in touch with Dr. Swapan Kumar Datta, right? So he was into development of genetically engineered indica rice. So this is especially the Indian variety of rice. So he was the pioneer of this particular genetically engineering rice. He was also the person behind the golden rice, if you've heard of, which is enriched with provitamin A and ferritin, right? So he was the mind behind it, and he is the one who was a part of the team, right? So he also has researched on jute as well as chickpea. So these are the different research areas of Dr. Datta, and how to network with him. So this is his email ID, swpndatta@yahoo.com. So this is his email ID, and if you want to network with him, you can drop an email to this particular ID and he may get back to you as well, right? So this is the second scientist that I wanted to talk about. The third scientist is Dr. Paramjit Khurana. So Dr. Paramjit Khurana is a professor in the Department of Plant Molecular Biology in the University of Delhi, right? So her research works are in the field of wheat and seri biotechnology, in comparative genomics, as well as mulberry transgenics. So these are the different research areas that she is focusing right now on. And the way to network with her is through this particular email ID, that is param@genomeindia.org, right? So this is her email ID, official email ID. And if you want to network with her, if you want to get in touch with her, first go across the, area, the research publications that they have done, and then you can get in touch with them, right? So this is with regard to Dr. Paramjit Khurana. The fourth scientist that I have for all of you is Dr. Chetan Eknath Chitnis, right? So he was a professor in the International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, that is ICGEB, and he was a former principal investigator of the malaria research group in this particular institute. So he is a pioneer in the field of malaria in India, right? So his research work also mainly focused on this particular disease only. So he focused on the molecular parasitology, on vaccine development for malaria especially, and on host parasite interactions, right? So these were the different research areas that he focused on. And if you want to network with him, then this is his present email ID, and you can get in touch with Dr. Chitnis. So this is with respect to the fourth scientist. The fifth scientist that I had for all of you is Dr. Mithila Mukherjee. So Dr. Mithila Mukherjee is a professor and head of department of the Bioscience and Bioengineering department at IIT Jodhpur. She's presently holding a professor title there. But she was a former scientist at IGIB, that is Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, right? So her research works are in the field of human genomics and personalized medicine. And she was the person who was behind Ayur Genomics. So she, along with her colleague who was into Ayurveda, so they developed this particular term called Ayur Genomics, where they studied the genomics of Ayurvedic medicine, of Ayurvedic plants, etc. So she was the one behind this Ayur Genomics. She also does research on the hereditary ataxias as well. Now, if you want to network with her, then this is her LinkedIn name, that is Mithila Mukherjee, and she also has the email ID as mithali@iitj.ac.in. So this is her present official email ID if at all you want to network with Dr. Mithila Mukherjee. This is the fifth scientist that I had for all of you. The sixth scientist we are going to see right now. The sixth scientist is Dr. Satyajit Mayor. Who's Dr. Satyajit Mayor? So he is the director of NCBS at Bangalore, right? National Conservation Biological Sciences, so which is at Bangalore, and he was the former director of INSTEM as well. So his research work are basically in the field of stem cell and regenerative biology, and he also does the molecular mechanism of endocytosis. So these are his research areas presently at NCBS. If you want to network with him, then this is his email ID, that is mayor@ncbs.res.in. Right, so this is with respect to Dr. Satyajit Mayor. The seventh scientist that I have for all of you is Dr. Shiva Umapati. So Dr. Shiva Umapati is presently the director of the IISER Bhopal, and that is Indian Institute of Science and Education Research at Bhopal. His research areas are mainly in these fields. So he is a biophysics scientist, majorly. So his work was also more on the physics side of it, that is molecular dynamics using Raman spectroscopy. He also does examination of the molecular structures of cells and tissues, and he has identified the cancer biomarkers using these techniques as well. So especially for the initial detection of cancer, so he has helped in identifying the biomarkers for it. So he is the brain behind these research works. Thirdly, if you want to network with him, then this is his office email ID, that is directoroffice@iiserb.ac.in. So this his team will get in touch with you if you want to network with Dr. Shiva Umapati. So the last scientist that I had for all of you is Dr. B. Basikaran. So Dr. B. Sesikaran is the former director of National Institute of Nutrition. So Dr. B. Sesikaran is medical professor in the first place, and then he has done his PhD as well. So he is also presently the chairman review committee for genetic manipulation for the government of India. So he's also part of many of such review committees and director of a few groups and vice president, etc. as well. So his research work is mainly in the area of nutritional pathologist, toxicology, diet and cancer, and nutrition and cell death. So these are the area that he's working on. So if you are interested in the nutrition side of life sciences, then he is a pioneer for it. He's a very good scientist in the field of nutrition. So you can network with him with this particular email ID, that is sesikaran@gmail.com. This is his email ID, and you can drop an email to him if at all you want to get in touch with Dr. Sesikaran. Now, with this, we've finished all the 8 scientists. Now, the 9th and the 10th point that I have for you is about how to network with them. We have seen all the email IDs of these scientists as well, but are there any other ways to network with them? Well, that's what we're going to see in these points, right? So, if you want to directly contact them, get in touch with them directly, then what are the different ways? So, one is the first and foremost is the email ID. That is, we have seen all the email IDs of these scientists. Whether it's these scientists or any other scientists that you want to connect with, then first take their email ID, their professional email ID, if it's possible, because that's how you need to contact them professionally. So get their official email ID and try to email them, right? The second way to get in touch with them is through their LinkedIn profile. So you can drop a message, or you can start following them on LinkedIn, or through ResearchGate as well. So ResearchGate is also a forum where you have scientists and their publication and their work. So if you want to get in touch with any of the scientists, you can get in touch through ResearchGate, which is a research forum, right? So that is when you want to directly get in touch with them. Next is about indirect networking. That is, one is through reference. So if you know somebody who knows that particular scientist, then you can go through reference and you can get in touch with this particular scientist, or you can get in touch with any of the lab groups that the scientists have. That is, they might have students under them, PhD scholars or UG or PG students or JRFs, etc. So you can go through their profile. You can first go through the profile of the scientist and then the lab group that they have, and then you can get in touch with these people from their lab, from his or her lab as well. Thirdly, you can contact the university directly, that is the university email or through phone call as well, to let you get in touch with the scientist directly. So these are university, or it could be department as well, because the departments also have their separate contact addresses. So you can get in touch with either the department or the university so that they can help you in putting you across with the scientist. So this is your secondary method. If the primary, that is the direct contact, is not possible, then you can go for a few indirect methods to get in touch with the professor as well, right? So these are the different ways that you can network with the scientist of your interest. So with this, I come to the conclusion of this particular video. I'm sure it was super helpful for everybody. If you're looking at networking with the Indian scientist for any of your research work or professional work or anything, then this is the way that you go forward. Thank you so much, and see you all until next video.